Hi everybody, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us. Well, we had an Antarctic blast over the weekend, a bit of a change from Cyclone Donna a couple of weeks ago, and now we've got a really big high pushing in over the country, locking in that Antarctic snap. Frost right across both islands, those areas in blue, all recorded a frost. In fact, it was -2 in Auckland, and there was even a frost as far north as the winterless north and Northland, some inland areas there dropping down to about 0. So a very cold night, and perhaps one more cold night ahead for some areas, but you can see the northerlies out on the western side of that high, well, they are sliding in. They'll turn more westerly, but they're coming in for the South Island. Now, the big storm over the weekend that helped produce the very cold winds over New Zealand also produced some huge seas south of us. Met Ocean, who provided this map, and they also provide some of the maps on our free app and our website, they recorded a 19.4 metre wave down here in the Southern Ocean, one of the largest ever recorded actually in the Southern Hemisphere. So a really big set of swells and waves coming in as a result of that huge storm. It is easing now. It's only about 10 metres, which is pretty huge, considering, keep in mind, the door in your house is about 2 metres and the average one-storey house is about 4.5, and that swell was 19.4. So huge waves, luckily a long way from us. Up in New Zealand the swells are nowhere near as bad, although perhaps still a little bit large around some of those eastern areas that are still getting clipped by that southerly flow. Here's Tuesday's setup, and there's certainly no southerly flow as far as the wind flows are concerned. There's a slight southwesterly still going on around Otago and perhaps Southland, but most other areas are going to see the westerlies coming in now, and they'll be a little bit warmer with a touch of subtropical air added to it as well. Some rain comes back to the west coast, but it's dry for pretty much everybody else on Tuesday. Wednesday sees that high drift a little bit further away to the east. Notice the tropics, a lot of activity up here. We're starting to see life coming back in again. Weather Watch said that we might still see a tropical storm right through until June this year, and we are still seeing a lot of life up there. But as far as New Zealand's concerned, the high is a protective layer between the rubbish that's going on up there and the more settled weather around us, although a few showers are still coming in really around both islands. It's a bit messy on Wednesday, but there is the risk of a couple of showers. On to Thursday now, and we've got two different systems at play. The South Island, you've got a low pressure system down here in the southern Tasman Sea that's really trying to get going and producing this wet nor'wester which is coming in for the west coast. And then separate to that, just talking about the tropics and the subtropics, a couple of areas of low pressure in here which are forming. Now, the latest guidance suggests that a low is forming, but it will track slightly to the east. But when they're this close, obviously it's one to watch, as we say, when they are that close, and we've got so many areas that are saturated. And our last map is Friday, and it does show just how close that low is. We've seen this before since March. These big lows coming down, these rainmakers sliding right next to East Cape. So there's another chance of rain, but if you really look at the maps, unless they change the low and shift it further to the west, the bulk of the rain all out at sea. So the North Island might miss out on that one, but it is very close. So clearly we'll update you again on Tuesday.